So I've been watching some Rupert Sheldrake videos, and I'm going to give my initial thoughts here. I'm going to keep investigating, but I just want to get some things out of my head before I go on so I'm not holding on to these thoughts. First of all, he uses but what if statements too much, frankly. He says, here's what science thinks, but what if that? And that's so easily refuted by just saying, science says there's not a teapot orbiting Mars, but what if there was? And if you continue the conversation after that, taking for granted now, just because you've said, but what if, that's, to say the least, an odd place to start. Two, he finally did reference some experiments that he did, and I found it unnerving because I've heard previously about all experiments involving psychic phenomenon, which is what he's talking about. They've all turned up false. There's never been any evidence for previous awareness of events and things, and yet he claims he's done experiments that have better than chance results of people being precognizant of events. And so I don't have enough details on the experiments that he did yet, or frankly enough details on other experiments that have been done, so that's something I'm going to have to look at, but I find worrying. Philosophically, what makes me hesitant about Rupert Sheldrake is that he's saying something people really want to hear, and that always makes me suspicious. Because he's saying, in a scientific way, because we all trust science, all of us who are smart, he's saying in a very scientific way that there's something more than science, that there is magic, and his rejection of materialism in science is a pseudoscience way of saying that there's magic. And I don't think he has any faith in magic, but I think he just appeals to the need, the desire to believe that there is something greater than science, that materialistic science kind of breaks all our hearts. And the idea that the universe is what it is, and we're just figuring out the details. Everyone wants to believe that consciousness has power, that your consciousness creates things. Everyone wants to believe in magic because it makes the universe less meaningless. But wanting that doesn't make it so, and dressing up all that desire with scientific language doesn't make it true either. And it's just, and I'm not putting this just on Sheldrake, I think it's a big problem in the world today. And watch the Sam Harris-Deepak Chopra debate, and they talk about it well there. And finally, the last thing that just gets me, and it ties into the third point, is people put a lot of stock in ancient traditions, as if there's an inherent value in their oldness. And I'm going to use meditation as the example. We know now the scientific benefits of meditation. It lowers your heart rate, your blood pressure, it calms you down. It's great, and it has measurable health benefits that will make you feel better. There's nothing ancient or cosmological about that. That is a material physical truth. Its ancientness, its connection to Tibetan spirituality or whatever you want to link it to, doesn't matter. When we study it scientifically, we know what's going on. And it's the same thing, to switch further afield than Sheldrake. Same thing when people talk about mysticism and psychedelic drugs. We know what the drugs are doing. The drugs are affecting your brain and making you think and feel things. That does not legitimize the experiences that you have. I'm going to end with my thought for this week is that not all psychology is spirituality, but all spirituality is psychology.